This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk through the interior of this Salem Villa destination trailer, model 42 QBQ. Okay. So as soon as we get in the door here, you can see you have a control panel right here. This just one, you have 4 slide rooms on this trailer, and this one button operates all 4. All right. This is for your power awning here. Never leave it out unattended, of course. Then you have your battery, which is charged, fresh water empty, and then 2 black tanks, because there's two toilets in here, and 2 gray tanks. Okay, they're all empty. They graduate up in 1/3 increments. Once they get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping them. The water heater, you can light it on gas right here, but on the outside of the trailer, if you remove the cover, there's a switch in the lower left-hand corner. That should be turned on. That controls the electric heating element. Now, if there's not water in the water heater tank, which there's not right now because the trailer's winterized, you never run the heater on gas or electric. You just leave it shut off, because if you turn it on, it'll burn out the element very quickly without water in it. Okay. Rest is self-explanatory. Lights, outside speaker. This is a dimmer right here. Of course, that's for your fan right there. Okay. Now, you can't run the microwave and the fireplace at the same time, so they give you a switch here, right? So we're going to switch it to fireplace like that. Then I'll take your remote, which is right here, and turn it on. Now, you can adjust the look of the flame, of course, with the remote. The double zeros mean, if you can see it, that's off. If I do it again, that's low. That's high. They're talking about the fan speed. Okay, so it is a space heater also. It's not just a fireplace. You can also adjust the look of the flame, like so. Look of the fire, like that. So you can adjust it. It also has a timer on it, so you could set this to turn on. Let's say 15 minutes before you get up in the morning, you could have it kick on to take the chill out of this room if you wanted to, for example. Okay, so I'll shut it off right there. Okay, sound-wise, this is your sound bar, and this is the remote right here. So you can stream off a USB with this. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or tablet. It has an FM radio, and this HDMI is an in to go into the system. Let's say you had a portable Blu-ray player. You could go into the system through there if you wanted to. You'd set it here, plug it in there, and go through the system. It has 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it has plenty of features. And of course, if you're going to hang a TV here, there is a backer plate right there for a bracket. Okay. This device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. Keep that in mind. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. It has a built-in range hood, or a built-in range fan, I should say, right here. Oh, see, I got to turn on the microwave now, because you can't use both of them together, of course. So you turn on there. It's 2 speeds off, and then you have a light, of course. Now there's, on the outside of the trailer, there's a vent that this vents out of. It has a baffle on it, so you really have to push the tabs at the bottom of the vent on the outside and free up the baffle so it flaps freely when you're venting. Otherwise you can keep it shut, but when you're venting you want it to flap freely. Okay, your range, looks like most of them do. You spark it. This is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark it. And then 3 burners, 3 knobs, and then the last one over here is the oven. So you just go like so. Now there hasn't been any gas through this since we hooked up the gas. So there we go right there. So it takes a little while, but when you're using it regularly, you won't have to do that. It'll light right off the bat. Now when it comes to the oven, there's a pilot light all the way at the bottom to the back. I can spark it so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. Not always, but usually. Anyway, the bottom line is this. You go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the pilot light. You depress it, keep it depressed. Then you spark it until it lights. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so. Then you go to operating temperature. It cycles as an oven does, but when you shut it off now, the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. All right. Refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator. Always use this when you're traveling, so your doors don't swing open and get dented. Okay, this device here is your power converter. So this converts AC to DC power. So you can see on this side right here, you've got AC power. It's regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home. They're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12-volt DC on this side. You see you got regular 12-volt fuses, and they're labeled. If any of these blow, they'll actually light up. You can see them through this tinted plastic here. Now, this is also a battery tender, so if you're, it's going to sense how much energy your battery needs. As long as it's plugged in, it'll send 12 volts up to your battery and keep it charged. Okay. Alrighty, so this is your thermostat. It's very simple. You just light it up by pushing the mode button. Scroll through fan. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. Then air conditioner, then back to heat. If it gives you an option, always use the fan on auto. If it gives you that option, okay? Alrighty, so let's see here. We'll go this way. This is obviously your bunk room. It's got a dual slide, so you got a lot of room in it. It's this couch will fold flat to a bed. Of course, this bunk folds down to another one. This bottom one folds down into another bed, and then you got this one here. So you got 4 beds in here, and plenty of space. This also has its own bathroom with a door, right? It's just a half bath, but it has a fan with a remote switch, so you can open the lid and everything, the cover on the fan from here. So it gives you some flexibility there. So this is the flush pedal. The reddish pink stuff is antifreeze. Directly below now are the black tanks. Each toilet has a black tank below it. You can't use toilets, RV toilets, without chemical and water in them. So when you start, after you've dumped your tanks and you're going to use the toilet and the plumbing again, you'll take one dose of toilet chemical, you put it right in the bowl. Then you'll stand on the pedal, water will come swirling out because we got water in the system. It'll come swirling out, and you'll let about a gallon or so of water go into the tank along with the chemical. Some people use more than a gallon, it's up to you. But it has to have chemical and water in it. That goes for each toilet. Remember I told you there's a black tank flush on the outside, or maybe I didn't tell you. On the outside of the trailer by the valves, there'll be a black tank flush for each one of the black tanks. Basically, you're just going to leave the black valve open. You'll turn on the, excuse me one second here. You're going to hook your hose at the dump station up to the valve, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, clean it off really well. You should do that every chance you get when you're dumping. Of course, this one works the same. You have the same setup with the fan, shower here, the GFCI right here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, so keep that in mind, okay? Alrighty, let's move on a little bit. This is your vacuum system here. Let me look under here and see what we've got here so we know. Okay, so these are the attachments for your vacuum right here. These are your hub caps, your center caps. That's a dump hose and an adapter down back there. Alright, so I just want to look and see what we have here. Okay, so that's stored under there. You have TV hookup here. Okay, and of course your closet so you can hang clothes. Alrighty, I'm just looking around as I go here. So yeah, you have 3 entry doors in this, which is pretty nice actually. So I think that about covers everything. Now when it comes to this couch here, it jackknifes flat into a bed. And of course, over here you can take the posts out of the table and set the table on these cleats here and fill it with the cushions, and that way you can you'll have 2 extra beds. So there's a lot of sleeping room in this trailer. Okay. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Now remember, the manufacturer states that you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So you always want to send somebody up there. Be very careful. Look at for the sealant for cracking or separation. Make sure that there's no damage to any kind of the roofing material or any attachments on the roof by low branches and things like that. Just give it a good inspection. If you see any issues, take care of it immediately. And the next thing is, it is winterized right now. There's antifreeze in the system, and the water heater tank is bypassed and empty. Okay? Thank you.